1.
Imagine finding your siblings. Not just a small fight where you bury your fist into the depths of your brother's stomach. I'm talking about a fight where you're attempting to kill your brother, your sister, or your closest friend. The thought seems unimaginable. It sickens me as it should you unless you are without a heart and soul. This is the war I'm talking of, is the type of war that Joshua Chamberlain found, the Civil War. The Civil War, it had most nations lost of all time, obviously, since both sides were being attacked, and they're all Americans. So that was the most losses. And all the wars combined, I think is what I heard. I didn't get to research that. So they had to choose between the state and the country and split up full families up. This was not the case for Joshua Chamberlain, though. Joshua Chamberlain was born in 1828 in Brewer, Maine, to Joshua and Sarah Chamberlain. He's the oldest of 5, and his household values education, good manners, and morality, which would gain him respect later in the war from both sides. These 3 traits gained him respect as the tension between the North and South snapped, as the railroad snaps from being under too much pressure for too long. His parents had a disagreement for his future, to be a missionary or a soldier, and as he grew up, he liked both, but he decided to go to school for religion since it was peacetime in the 1850s. There was still small tensions between the Civil War, like between the North and South, but it didn't break loose until 1861. So the school he attended was in Brunswick. It was called Bowdoin College. In Brunswick, he met his future wife, Fanny Adams. They went to the same church, and she was actually the daughter of the preacher, the adopted daughter of the preacher. They got married after he graduated in 1855, which is 6 years before the war actually started. Next slide. The beginning of the war, he offered his services to Governor Washburn. He traveled to the governor's office, offered his services to join the army, and join the war as the lieutenant colonel. He began under Commander Albert Ames, and he learned he was such a smart person that he learned just by observing the soldiers and the formations, how to command an army. And actually, in the Battle of Fredericksburg is the battle that the Commander Albert Ames was killed, and so he took command of the whole entire regiment just in a year's time. So you can imagine how nerve-wracking it is for him, how it was for him. And he kept his cool through the entire thing. What he's most known for is his defense of Little Round Top. Although he had battles before, it was probably the most heroic battle in the Civil War, as it is my favorite. By the time of the battle, he was promoted to the rank of colonel and was commanding the officer of the second man.
Please excuse the interruption. The following students, please report to the office. Kayleen Clark, John Carpenter, Taylor Wright, Gavin Reese.
Second main actually
Spencer
came in
Test,
with
Brian
them
Taylor,
and mixed up
Candace
between the two
Schweitzer,
because they were,
Megan Torstenberger,
they signed up
Leah
for
Sullivan,
3 years
Casey
and
Sullivan,
it only
Amy
happened for 2.
Stone,
Like,
Lizzie Stiles,
The,
Joey Steiner,
there was a
Caroline
mix-up
Stacy,
in
Devin
offices.
Snyder, Nate
So
Sylvia,
they had to go for
Jim
an extra
Cheeseman,
year,
Rose Shears,
which they all decided
Miranda
to
Gounder,
quit.
Diana
And
Garcia,
Chamberlain brought
and
them
Shirley
in,
Fry.
and
Please
since they were
report
in
to
Maine,
the office.
both from Maine, they decided to join up with them because they all knew each other. In this Battle of Gettysburg, he's most renowned for his attack because they were all the end of the line, the left flank, I believe. And it was all lined up right here. And this side right here swung down, and they did a charge after having so many of them. It went on for so long that they all lost ammo, and they had to fix bayonets, and they had to charge down all on top of these of the Alabama forces. And so you can imagine how nerve-wracking that was. Throughout the entire war, Chamberlain was wounded 6 times and had many near-death experiences. A field promotion was from Ulysses S. Grant himself was needed for one of these injuries, since higher generals had better surgeons, and Ulysses S. Grant was very impressed with his skills and his courage. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for his bravery. At the very end of the war, it was Chamberlain who was in fact given the honor to receive Confederate formal surrender from Confederate General John B. Gordon. Gordon stated, as Chamberlain received their surrender, with an accepting and respectful salute, that Chamberlain was one of the knightliest soldiers he had ever, in the Federal Army, that he had ever met.